Well, I joined several art associations a number of years ago because I wanted to have an art community, and certainly an art community where I lived. So I remember I saw a show at the Wellesley Library, and it was from the Wellesley Society of Artists, and there was contact information, and I said that's what I wanted to do. And I've been a member way over 20 years. I don't even know how many. Well, most of the time I lived in Wellesley, so 25, 30 plus years. The sense of community, and when we're together, and especially if we get a chance to go out and paint together, there's a wonderful camaraderie. It's a support group. You know, if you get into trouble, you can say to somebody, well, what would you do? And they say, well, do this, or just walk away, or do that. The last thing that we did was we had an online show because, as you know, we have our website, so they asked us to submit JPEGs, and they had a wonderful show online. I was a healthcare administrator for many. I was trained as an elementary school teacher. I taught 6th grade in Revere, Massachusetts. That's my battle experience. And I was a healthcare administrator for many, many years. And in 2001, I just desperately needed a change. I desperately needed a change because I was done with the business, but also I didn't have the energy to produce any art, although I was taking some art classes. So I left healthcare in 2001 and didn't know what I was going to do, but very quickly launched an organizing business. And that was my first solo art show. I had the energy to produce art, so my first solo art show was I think it was 2001 at the Natick Library, and then the second one was at the Wellesley Library. So I launched my professional organizing business, and then quite a few number of years ago, then I also launched my genealogy business because I've been doing that forever. So it's a lot of fun. It's very rewarding, but most importantly, I have energy for my creativity. I organize with one side of the brain, and I think I do my art and watercolor with the other side of the brain. What I try to do with my watercolor is get more into the spirit of the watercolor and just kind of let it flow and do its thing, because that's one of the fun things about watercolor. I don't know that my artwork per se, like my products have been affected, but what I've been doing is definitely putting more time into it, because sometimes I would think, okay, I have to run out, I have to go to a client, maybe I'll get to someone on the weekend, and I've been trying more to produce more art, to have something going, producing more and more satisfying. And especially at this time of the year, I usually can go up to the North Shore, to Gloucester and Rockport, and to paint plein air, to be there and to really, just be with nature and painting. And I haven't had a chance to do that, but I paint for my own photographs. I only paint for my own photographs, so at least it gives me a chance to virtually go up to the North Shore. So breakthroughs, I don't know. But the other thing that I have had time to do is sometimes I will take the same photograph and paint it different ways. Either I change the size, or I change the vantage point, or I radically change the colors or the textures just for the heck of it. And sometimes what I'll do, and whether I'm feel successful at producing the piece or not, but I'll go back to it and think, well, I should have done that, but now I'm going to do this. And I've been using different medium, specifically either painting with watercolor, or I have these watercolor crayons that are pure pigment, and they are very intense. And you can use them like dry crayons or wet them. So I've been trying to bring a little something different to the same photo, but coming out with a totally different product. It takes me into a wonderfully new place when it's good. I think it's like probably when you're writing up something, you're kind of in this zone, and you look at the product you're writing, and I look at the painting and go kind of like, who did that? Whoa, can I ever do that again? So it's just I can be gone for hours, and then I look up and I may have some music on, and the music is long off, and I am like so far far into my painting. And one of the things that because I can't go out, I could go out around here, but I love being by the ocean. But I'm like there. And I also I have photographs of all of my watercolors, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I have them in little binders, and I call them my click books because they're photographs, but also it can be because when I was there painting plein air, something clicked, or when I was at my table and I was painting, something clicked. So it's just, I tell people that that I can't take credit for this, but somebody talked about becoming the pigment and becoming immersing oneself in the water and really just kind of like going into the painting.